Greetings, YouTube. I found myself recently thinking about the difference between want and need. As an example, I really want a Chris Reeves knife. But I don't need a Chris Reeves knife. I own lots of knives. In fact, when people ask me that question, how many knives do you own? I always respond with, I don't know. That's how many knives I own. I don't know how many knives I own. I own a lot of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sitting on my desk right here. And I probably have that many sitting on my nightstand. Oh, nope, there's one up there too. There's one over there. And there's a bunch over in the corner waiting to be reviewed. Okay? I got lots of knives, and that isn't touching the storage. So I don't need a Chris Reeves knife, even though I would really like to own one. And that's the difference between want and need. But it gets bigger than that. It goes beyond personal desires. There are people in the world that really want to be incredibly wealthy. All right, that's legitimate. And if you contribute to society and you give something for the money that you earn, I don't have a problem with it. But that shouldn't mean that others have to go without needs so that you can be wealthy because that's what you want. We're talking about economic inequality. And people are talking about minimum wages, and I'm endorsing minimum wage. And right now, the number being thrown around in America is $15 an hour. Even though if it had kept track with inflation, it would be about $18 an hour, and it's currently 7.25. And if the value that businesses get out of a person they're paying $7.25 for is $21. So even if they were to pay $18 an hour, they would still be making more out of the person than they are paying them. But 15 is a good start. So we'll play with 15. But I also advocate the idea of a maximum pay. A maximum wage. And I peg that at 100 times the minimum wage. So if somebody wants to make 100 times what $15 is, which is $1,500 an hour, they can. Now you're thinking that's a whole lot of money, and you would be correct. $1,500 an hour is an incredibly high amount of money. In America, though, there are numerous CEOs that make $5,500 an hour. Okay? That's well over a month of my pay made in 1 hour. And that has to stop. We have to make sure that everyone has what they need and that we stop catering to those who just want to get the things they want. So yes, I believe in progressive tax structure. In fact, I've gone even further than that, and I believe in taxing wealth. Not just earnings, but wealth. Now that would mean that the 99 would almost pay nothing in wealth tax. Because we don't have any wealth. The wealth is all controlled by the people in the 1%. Even though we, the people, the 99, created that wealth. The people at the top are parasites. We need to tax their wealth. And starting at the bottom of the 1%, you would start at a rate just above what the 99 is paying. And as you got closer and closer to the top, until you got to the very wealthiest, when you would be at the 99% rate. Yes, I'm advocating taking away 99% of the wealth possessed by the top 1/10%. Because they didn't come by that honestly. They undermine workers' rights. They cheated consumers. They have shown us that the corporations they control will more than willing to lie and cheat and steal, to bribe, to maim, to poison, and to murder, all in the name of profit. And this is not hyperbole. These are things that have happened within our nation and its history, let alone the rest of the world. Corporations have done all of these things. They have stolen from us. They have lied to us. They have cheated us. They have bribed politicians. They are bribing politicians as I am making this video. They have poisoned the earth. They have maimed employees. They have maimed consumers. And they have killed people because of their lack of safety standards and making sure that their products are safe for the public. And they have done this for decades, for centuries. For as long as there have been corporations, they have despoiled the earth upon which they walk, and then shifted the cost of that onto the shoulders of the people who actually earned the wealth. It's what they do. It's how they became who they are. And we need to get money out of politics. And one of the fastest ways of doing that is taking the money away from the people who have it. Taking the wealth away from those people, because they have shown us that is the weapon they use against us. So the first thing you should do is disarm your enemy. And the 1% has shown us they are our enemy. I don't like it. I didn't create the situation. I didn't ask them to be my enemy. They are. I am just pointing out reality. We have to refigure how we think about wants and needs. We have to make sure that everyone on this planet has what they need to survive. That they have housing, that they have food, that they have an education, that they have health care, mental and physical. That they live in a safe environment free of poisons, free of dangerous products and dangerous work environments. Free of laws that throw people into the prison industrial system. We need justice. We need mercy. And we're not going to have these things if we allow the 1% to continue to possess the wealth that we created and use it against us as a weapon. Because that is what they're doing. So it's time, folks, to go take back that which is ours. Because that's what it is. It is our wealth. Everyone born on this planet is worthy of an equal share of its resources, and we don't have that right now. And we should. We are all one family. And we so far have allowed the spoiled brats in the family to decide what the rest of us get to eat, get to live, get health care, get thrown in prison. We've allowed them to make decisions that they shouldn't be making. Decisions that don't affect them, that affect the rest of us. That throw us into the meat grinder so that they may have sausage. It's time to stop. It's time for the people to stop them. And if the politicians won't work on it, then it's time to change the politicians. I went and voted today at the time of this filming. I encourage you to do the same. And I'm hoping that since we have a system of laws, at least in theory, voting will do it. Because I really don't want revolution. I'm a student of history. I know what happens in revolutions. I do not advocate violence in the form of revolution. I am not foolish. And anyone who does advocate that isn't a student of history. So remember, just because you want something doesn't mean that you need it. Just because the 1% would like to own the world doesn't mean they should.